Hello, this is Adam with DreamMade Productions. This video is made possible by the very kind donations of viewers like you. Thank you. If you are in a position to help this channel improve quality and grow, please visit my Patreon page at www.patreon.com/DreamMadeProductions, linked below. Hello! So I thought I would show some more things I got here. One of the first things that I wanted to go over was something that I've already been over. So this was my very first handheld game. Well, sort of. I guess my very first handheld game was one of those little, water, you send the little balls up and try to get them in the little like hoops or whatever. That's long gone, and that thing sucked anyway. But this was my first portable video game. Got Iron Sword Wizards and Warriors 2, which is from Acclaim. It's a Tiger Electronics style little LED. I don't know quite how to explain it, but if you've ever played a Tiger Electronics game, you know exactly what I'm talking about. This thing sucked even worse than Iron Sword for NES, which was a very poor follow-up to the very awesome Wizards and Warriors game. I already showed this off once before. Sadly, it doesn't work anymore. But I keep it around just for sentimental value. But it was quite the step up to go from that to the original Game Boy. Now, this is the OG Game Boy. As you can see here, 1989. Model DMG01, so I was lucky enough to get in fairly early in this. The story behind this is that my stepmom's father lived in Florida and we lived in Virginia. So in one of the trips down to see him, needed something to keep me and my foster brother quiet for the ungodly long drive. So we both got Game Boys for Christmas that year, and a couple of games to keep us busy with, and I still have mine. I have not tried to see if this works or not. The batteries that were in it were kind of corroded, but not so bad that I wasn't able to get it clean. At some point I will put some batteries in it and see if it turns on and stuff, but this is an awesome console. It had a lot of great games for it. The biggest problem was being able to see. If light was perfect, then you could see and play without a problem. If it was a little too dark, or shadows, or stuff constantly changing, such as, driving in a car, it was really hard to see. Now, they made some things to try to help resolve that, to put light on it since it wasn't backlit, and I have one of those. I have here the Handy Boy. Now, this thing was crazy. I remember after the first trip, we both got this for our Game Boys to try to make it so that we wouldn't get bored after dark. This thing would clip on to the Game Boy, like so. You would plug in the headphone jack, and you would plug in the power cable here. I think AVGN covered this thing years and years ago, but just in case. And then this thing would open up, and you would have speakers, and you would even have this magnifier to kind of make the screen a little teeny bit bigger. And you even had this little add-on here that would clip on and turn your D-pad into a joystick for some reason and give you different buttons. And this thing had a light on it where it would shine down here and try to help it so that you could maybe see the screen a little better. This thing did not work very well and did not solve the problem. But it was still a cool system, and having this thing on your Game Boy either made you look super awesome or super lame, depending upon how much you knew about it. I don't know. If they would have just put a backlit screen on this thing, it would have been almost perfect, but I understand why they did not, because with just AA batteries, you would burn through them really quickly. We had a whole lot more games for this thing, and I have no idea where the rest of them are. We had a Castlevania game, a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game, we had Yoshi's Cookie. I'm hoping all of that stuff is still lost somewhere in my dad's basement and it'll turn up. But from what I could find, we had Jurassic Park. This was a cool game. It was also available on the NES. You ran around as Grant and shot dinosaurs with a bazooka. It was an okay game, kind of puzzly, running around finding like key cards and stuff. The next game I had here was Metroid 2, The Return of Samus. This was an awesome game. Not as good as the original Metroid, and certainly not as good as Super Metroid, but still a lot of fun. I was a little too young for this, didn't have quite as much fun playing through, exploring, and doing a Metroidvania. If you get the opportunity, you know, play the remake or play the fan remake. Next up, I had Star Trek: The Next Generation. This was a game that I absolutely loved. You got to fly around as the Enterprise and complete missions and get into battles and stuff. It is very, very repetitive, and you could only play it for so long, but this was my first game for this thing. I mean, other than Tetris. And yeah, the Star Trek: The Next Generation for Game Boy, and it was also available on NES. I played this a lot. Finally, I sort of have my favorite game for the system that we had, which was Super Mario Land 2, The 6 Golden Coins. We also, I believe we had the first Mario Land. I think we did. I remember playing it, so we either had it or we borrowed it. This game was awesome. It sticks out in my mind because in the last battle, you got to fight Wario, and this is Wario's first appearance, and he fought like you did. He got superpowers, you know, he got a mushroom and the carrot that gave you the bunny ears that let you float, and the fire flower and stuff, and that was very novel back then. I remember that, and I remember having the game because you could also save your game. I remember having it and just playing the last boss battle over and over and over because I thought it was so cool that you got to fight someone that fought like you did, that had powers and stuff. And flip through the instruction book here for you. I hope they remake this game. This game was super awesome, and it added a lot to it from the first Super Mario Land, which was still a cool game. That had a lot going for it too, where you got to you know, fly a little airplane in a submarine and stuff. Yeah, this was a cool game. I'm hoping it's with the other games that I don't have. I have the box, but the game is missing. From there, I stepped up to the Game Gear. Now this, I'm pretty sure, doesn't work. It was in storage for a long, long time. I got this well after the Game Gear had had its run. I bought it from a friend of mine, and he had one baseball game for it, which I was not a big fan of baseball. I don't know whatever happened to that game. It disappeared. I had intended to get more games for it so that I could play in the dark and stuff. This game system was backlit, so it was a huge improvement over the Game Boy, but it would drink batteries, man. This thing took 6 AA batteries, and you did not get a very long time with it. I really wanted the Nomad, which would play Sega Genesis games, but you know, it was a Toys R Us exclusive, and I never got my hands on it, and you know, it was more expensive, and it went way up in price for a while. I'm sure it's still an expensive game system. But yeah, I'm pretty sure this thing doesn't work. The batteries inside were horribly corroded when I pulled this thing out of storage. I'm still going to try to clean it and see if I can get it to work, and I may get a game or something for it just so I can have it to play. But yeah, right now this is just a display piece. Next up, I have a bit of a story here, but my next handheld video game system was the Game Boy Advance. Now, the story behind this is that me and an ex had to take a plane trip to visit her family, and with the long plane ride, we both bought Game Boy Advances, and we got some games to play together. The reason I only have the box is she took the Game Boy Advances with her when we broke up, so I don't have the system to show you, but I do have the box. This was an awesome system. It was like having a Super Nintendo in your pocket. I mean, as you can see here, you had a lot of different options. Super Mario World, Golden Sun, Wario Land, Mario Kart. There was a lot of cool stuff for this system, and it solved a lot of problems. Especially the SP version. This version still used batteries, but the SP version, where the screen flipped up, had rechargeable, so that solved the problems that I had with this early version of the system. I do have some games to show you. We both got Tetris Worlds. Just straight up Tetris game. I still have one of the boxes. Got the book for it here. We both got a copy of this game so that we could play against each other, and we had the link up cables, and we had the link cables to link it to the GameCube. Power Rangers Time Force on there, and came with a little poster here. Cross sell back here for GT Advance. Like I said, this thing was awesome, and I still have both cartridges, which is awesome. We linked this up and played on the plane quite a bit. The next game we both got a copy of this, was Final Fight 1. We were both beat 'em up fans, and this was a better version of Final Fight. It was pretty close to the arcade version with the link cable. It could be 2-player, and they actually added in a little bit more story where you would talk to the bosses before you fought them. As you can see here, it was bought used, and I'm pretty sure this is a very old GameStop sticker. We bought a bunch of stuff at GameStop back in the day, back when they were super awesome. I only have one of the cartridges left, but we both had one, and we would link up and play through, trying to fight our way through the city and get to the last boss and beat the game and stuff. I don't remember. I'm pretty sure we beat the game together, but I don't remember. But yeah, the arcade version's still a little bit better, but if you get the chance, give this game a try. It was cool to have like the little exchanges with the bosses. Next up, I have Legend of Zelda 2: Adventure of Link. They re-released a bunch of original Nintendo games for the Game Boy Advance, and I bought this one. I think I mostly got this one because I wanted the original Legend of Zelda, but this one was on sale, and I'm a fan of Zelda 2 as well. Still got the box for it. What can I say? A bunch of people hate on this game, but I actually really liked it. It was fine back in the day, and it still holds up pretty well. There's a fan remake or remaster of this game floating around out there on the internet that I'm been trying to play a bit here and there, and it is awesome. Yep, here we go. This is the SP. If you're gonna get a Game Boy Advance, get that version, or maybe the DS that also plays Game Boy Advance games. I never had this, but I wanted it. It was the player so that you could hook this to the hook this to the GameCube and play Game Boy Advance games on it. That was awesome. Let's see what else we got in here. Yep, Nintendo Power. Got the instruction book here. Looks like a... Oh, yep, just instruction book for the Game Boy. Oh, that might be for original Game Boy. Anyway, got the manual here. Oh, it looks awesome. A lot like the original manual. But yeah, got this game. I remember playing this on the plane. Cross-sell here for more of the classic series of NES games released on the Game Boy Advance, Castlevania, Metroid, the Classic Edition SP, Donkey Kong, Dr. Mario, original Super Mario Brothers, the original Legend of Zelda. Yep. Looks like 7 of them. There might have been more. I remember there being more, but I could be mistaken. Anyway, guys, that for now is all of my handheld games. I never got into the DS or PSP or anything. Handheld games for me were always a traveling thing. From my very first one to kind of play on like the bus, and I think our first trip somewhere, me and my foster brother got these Tiger Electronics games and they didn't work out very well. Graduating up from there to get the original Game Boy, which was an awesome system, still holds up today. They make ones where people take these things apart and add in a backlit screen and put in a rechargeable battery pack and do a bunch of work to them. Those are awesome. You know, off-market ones, whatever. Play some Game Boy. They were awesome. Game Gear was cool, but drank batteries. And the Game Boy Advance was cool. Sorry that I don't have that anymore. Anyway, guys, did you have any of these systems? What was your favorite portable system? Let me know below. And as always, I hope you enjoy the battle reps that are to come. Hello, this is Adam with DreamMade Productions. Thank you for watching my content. It really means a lot that you have given me the chance to entertain you. If you would like to support the channel, please visit my Patreon at patreon.com/DreamMadeProductions, linked below. Also below is a link for PayPal, or links if you would like to send crypto, if that's more your thing. Please know any amount that you give will be cherished and used to upgrade equipment and improve the channel. You can also help the channel by subscribing, turning on notifications, liking, commenting, and sharing my channel with anyone you think might be interested. Thank you again for watching, and I hope you enjoy the battle reps that are to come.